So, what are the outcomes of the war between Russia and Ukraine as of today? The three main possible outcomes as of today are: number one, the defense perspective, number two, the Russian perspective, and number three, the Ukrainian perspective. So, what is number one, the defense perspective? Well, all the countries in the times to come would start heavily investing in their defense capabilities. So, to begin with, Germany recently announced that they would start investing about 2% of the GDP in defense in times to come. So, all this while they were not investing heavily in defense, though they are economically a good and a strong nation, because of the guilt of the World War II. But then now that has gone and they would start heavily investing in defense. And this is not limited to Germany alone. All small countries across Europe and across Asia and across continent for that matter would start investing in their defense capabilities, because now they have realized they cannot rely on any other partners to rescue them, but they will have to be self-sufficient. So you would see a lot of innovation on defense in the times to come, and it's definitely good for defense industries. The second outcome, the Russian perspective. See, as of today, Russia is deep inside this war. There is no possibility that they would pull back, or Putin would pull back his troops, or they would call for a ceasefire unless they achieve something. So, what is that they would achieve? So, that comes to the third outcome, which is the Ukrainian outcome. Ukraine, no doubt, Ukraine as a country, their leaders and the people have been putting up a brave face, and they are fighting against, in a limited scale, against the Russian troops. But then the eventuality is inevitable. So it's a known fact that you cannot fight the might of Russians. Of course, they can inflict some damage to the Russian troops, but Russia has been very careful. You If Russia wishes to bombard entire Ukraine, they very well could do that, but then they are trying to limit the casualties. Therefore, the number of casualties are very less. If not, they would have been in hundreds and thousands of people being killed, or including the soldiers of Ukrainian army. But then they have been cautious because they don't want a perception within Ukrainian people that Russia is an aggressor. They they have come with an agenda, or they want share a perspective that Russia is a liberator. Well, if this continues, as is, the people's minds have changed, and the people who were sort of in a middle ground and taking a middle stand, well, the Ukrainian people essentially, so they have also started to feel perhaps Russia is an aggressor. So this perception for Russia, it's very difficult for Russia to change this perception of Ukrainian people. Nevertheless, there is a point to which the Ukrainian leaders and the Ukrainian army can defend themselves. Well, beyond a point, they will have to give in, and we don't know when that is going to happen. But if they have to give in, they will have to still put up a brave face. The only possible outcome at this point in time is they will have to, for Russia to call the ceasefire, is they will have to agree, and they'll have to give an assurance to entire world along with Russia that they would be a neutral member and may not join NATO in the near future. So these are the top three probable outcomes at this point in time.